name can be given to the functions, and always the function refers that name as an object. Always our programming treat any variable, any function, any list, any array, any tuples will be treated as an object. Right? Keep in mind. MCQ type. Everything treat is in a object. Argument. So here in a function within a bracket, I have specified argument 1 and argument 2. Like this, we can specify n number of arguments. Like this, we can specify the n number of arguments. Yes, right. Then the arguments may be right. An argument is a placeholders where it is to be stored. When a function is invoked, means when a function is called, you can pass on a value of an argument to the function, right? Sometimes argument may be option. There are three types of functions: no arguments, with arguments, no return value, with arguments with return value, right? So here the arguments is used to pass the values. Sometimes we doesn't want to pass the value. In that case, there is no argument. Function may contain no arguments. Also, arguments can have a default values. Function body. This is the function body. Any body can be written. That is, you decide as a user. As a user, you can decide the body can be anything. Body can be anything. So you can write your statement. So function body contain the collection of a valid statements. Content of a valid statements which is written under body, and that body is going to be executed by a function. Return value. Sometimes we need to return the value by using a function, right? So you pass the value to the function and return to the functions. So the same theory component, the very small example I will try to explain, right? I will clear this everything, right? So this one also I will clear. Screen is visible, all of you.
Yes.
Is it screen is visible now? Okay, very important aspects of our programming functions. You try to understand. I will go to a simple example to understand the function, right? And the same thing you can practice. Practice is very important. That is why the first day I told you, if you want to opt the business analytics, you should must have a gadget. It should be either desktop or a laptop, no mobile, right? Because the everything is based on the practical practice. Okay, now uh, function, right? We go for function exercise. Here, example of the comment line. Hash indicate that comment line. If you write anything here in this line, it will not give an error. This is the reference. This is the documentation. This is the help, right? So if you write anything here, it will not give an error. Now see, my own function I am writing, so my font. What is my own function name? So my font is the function name which I have written, right? And here function is the keyword. See, always the keyword suggest here. Always the keyword suggest here. Okay, my font. This is the function. Now here my function body is print bracket, right? Right? In one more print statement, I will give print, right? Right? Finish. Now, if you look at this, this complete statements is called function definition. Within opening and closing curly brace, whatever we wrote, that is called a function body. This is the function body. If I try to call this particular function, what is the function name? My fun is the function of this function name may be anything. This function name may be anything, right? But this should be the reserve word. This should not change. But this function name, my fun, your function, x, y, z, anything, right? Anything. Okay. Now here, this is the function which I have written. Now I would like to call this function call, right? So here, right, function call, function. In a function call, I'm going to calling this function. Which function I'm calling? My function I'm calling fun. My function I'm calling finish. Say this is called a function call. This is called a function definition, right? Entire part, and within a opening and closing curly brace, this is the body of the function, and my fun is my own function name. But how I created my own function? With the help of a function keyword. Function keyword. Now I will select this and I will try to execute. I will show without selecting it with selecting. Right. My fun. Right. Okay. Something is incomplete. My function. My function name. Indenting and appropriate spacing is very important. Otherwise, it gives an error. Right? Even though it is everything is correct. Okay, fine. Right? Now, here the hello and John is displayed. Now, if I work out this, I will clear this now. You will understand. Okay. Now, if you look at this global environment variables, my fun, this is my own variable. This is my own function. How I created? With the help of function keyword. Right? Okay. Now, simply if I execute this statement, function call, if I call function, so immediately it will call and it will print. If I call this function, it will go back. It will go back to this my function body, and whatever body is returned, that body's result is going to be displayed here. All of you understand? This is the no argument pass, nothing is going to be returned. This is my function. Now similarly, I can use a function, right? Similarly, I can use a function to pass the values. Say for example, here A is equal to 2, right? B is equal to, say for example, B is equal to 3. And whenever I call this function, like here now my sum, I change the meaning name of the function. My sum is the function. Here it's not my fun, my sum, my own function I have written, calculate the summation. Just now I showed you the sum is the function which is built in. I don't want to use that function. I would like to write my own function to calculate the summation. So here I'm writing my own function to calculate the summation, right? So A is equal to 2, B is equal to 3, and while calling this my sum function, I would like to pass this A and B to the function. So A comma B is passed, right? Are you getting or not here? A is equal to 2, B is equal to 3. And I'm calling now, which function I'm calling? My sum function I'm calling. Okay, my call goes back to this function. My call goes back to this function, but I'm calling this my sum function with the variable, with the arguments A and B. So actual arguments, right? With the actual arguments. Now here I'll be receiving these values. I'll be receiving these values. So these values will be received x comma y, right? X comma y. And now here I'm calculating the summation, that is z is equal to x plus y, right? And I will print, right? Print sum of two number is, now this is print what is z. Finish. I will explain and then I will execute. Say my sum function I have written. So this is my complete function definition. This is my complete function definition. So my sum is my own function, but always I need to write my sum function with help of a function keyword. Okay, now here I'll be getting my sum function. I'm writing my sum function, but the function has got an arguments x and y. Function has got an argument x and y, right? So whatever values are passed by this function, by some function, that is a and b, will be copied to x and y. Are you with me? Yes or no? All of you, are you with me? Come on.
Yes, sir.
Are you getting or not? Little bit. Say I'm passing these values, right? I'm passing these values. Say a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3, and a and b is passed to this x and y. That means the a value of a is 2, 2 is copied to x, value of b is equal to 3, b is copied to y. Once the x and y is received the value from a and b, will be used to calculate the summation, and summation will be stored into z, and then z will be printed, right? That is what I'm doing. I'm using a value as I'm using an argument as a and b to pass values from one place to another place. So I'll select this entire so that memory will be changed. Otherwise, it will remain the old one. Okay. Now I'll try to execute this. Now object A is not found. My sum A is not found. What is wrong? I'll check it. A is not wrong. Why? What is wrong with this? See, simple typing mistake.
Is equal.
Yes, is equal to sign. Exactly right. Is equal to. So very carefully, very minor mistake, but it gives an error. Is equal to sign, right? So I'll clear this again because I would like to change the global values of all, because next time again no need to use the same thing. Okay, I will repeat. Now fine. Now I will remove this. My global values have changed because here my sum is created now. Now I can simply call this function. Now simply I can call this function. Okay, so if I run this particular function only, it gives the sum of two numbers is 5. Getting or not? It's very important because x and y. What is x and y? X and y receive the value from a and b. What is the value of a and b? Just now initialize here. A is equal to and b is equal to 3. So this is called, yes, I'm calling this function. I'm calling this function with an arguments. But how many arguments are there? There are two arguments, a and b. So I'm calling this my sum function with a and b. So whatever the value of a and b will be copied to x and y. Similarly, I would like to calculate the sum of three number. C is equal to, say for example 5. What is changed? A comma b comma c, and now here again x comma y comma, if I use again c, and here plus c. Will it work? Come on, yes or no? Right? Error in my sum a comma b comma c. What is so that sum function again we have to globally we have to change it, right? And now if I work out this, if I work out this, if I remove this, if I run this, value is 10. Yes, 3 plus 2 plus 5, 10. What I would like to tell you now here, while passing the values a, b, c, I'm using ABC variable. While receiving, in earlier case, I use the different variables x, y. But it is not necessary to use the different variables. Even though if you use the same variable, it will work. But for understanding purpose, because this ABC is different and this XY is different, though it has got a same value. Why it is different? Because the actual argument and formal arguments, right? Actual values are passed with the help of AB and the values are received with the help of formal argument, that is X and Y. So that is why here I use C, same I use. Doesn't matter, same will work. You may use different or same will work. Okay, now the third change, yes, I would like to calculate the result here, but I don't want to print in the function. I want to print after function. I would like to print after this, and I put it here. Put it here. See what change I did. What change I did. Right? In a function called a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3, c is equal to 5, 5, everything is right. My sum is the function which I'm calling. My sum is the function which I'm calling with an argument a comma b comma c, right? And this a comma b comma c, I'm calling this function. So again, it will go back call. My call will go back to this my sum function. A will copy to x, b will copy to y, and c will copy to c. Doesn't matter. Sum is calculated. Z is equal to x plus y plus c, right? X plus y plus c. Now here I'm returning, right? Right? What I'm returning? I'm returning the value which is calculated, that is z. But yes, value is going to return back now again. Values are passed from this function to this body. Body will calculate sum, and whatever sum is calculated, again that result is going to be returned back. Right? So here P. And I'm printing here P, or so notation I will use J. And here I will give J to be printed. What change I did? A is equal to 2 is assigned, B is equal to 3 is assigned, C is equal to 5 is assigned. Right? I'm calling, what I'm calling? I'm calling my sum function, but while calling I'm passing. What I'm passing? The actual argument. That is ABC. ABC means 2, 3, 5 I'm passing. Where I'm passing? I'm passing to this function I'm passing. So X and Y, X, Y, Z and C is received. 2, 3 and 5 is received, sum is calculated, and whatever result is calculated, again it will return back. Where? To this, and stored into J, and J will be printed. Right? Now, if I execute this now again, if I execute this again, see 10. Right? If I call this function, right? Yes, function is called. But if I have to see the result, right, not only calling this 10. It means that here, what I did, I passed these values with the help of my sum function to function. Function body calculate, function receives xyz with the help of xyz, calculate sum and return back that z, whatever calculated, and assign to j. And j is printed, that is why j is 10. Right? Now instead of here using Z, right? Simply direct I can use here return C. Like anything in R. Once you practice, you can play like anything else. Yes, I not use Z, but it will return it. But it will return. What it will return? Summation of X, Y, and Z will be returned, stored into Z, and it will be printed. Okay, fine. Now I will erase this and I will try to execute again code. So see, yes, it has been. Take. That means while returning, what it will return? Return the value of X plus Y plus C, and it will return and store into Z. So this is the third type of function. So by using a small example, I explain the concept of a function without arguments, with arguments, and with return value. Three different ways we can handle the function. It's depend upon the situation, how the situation arises in analytics. Depending upon the functions can be used to perform the analysis or to get the results. So this is what are functions over. Now I will go for the next, that is I will finish vectors list, very important data structures of an R programming. Always for analyst, always the analyst use or refers this vectors, list, arrays, data frames. Data frame is very important component of data analytics. Data frames, right? And then factors, very simple concept. And then directly I will move to the visualization, that is the graphical visualization, how the graphically the result can be displayed, right? Say I need 3 to 4 lectures to finish the complete R, right? I will not take a jump, but from tomorrow I will take the extra lectures. You tell me your convenient time. Yes, you tell me your convenient time. I think now most of the teachers, they might have finished their syllabus. Am I right?
Or
Which subject is pending? Tell me. Except project management, others is still not completed. But lectures are conducted regularly. Acha, 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 acha. So only project management syllabus is over. Otherwise, the rest of the syllabus is still pending. Huh? Okay. So tomorrow there will be a as per timetable lectures right from 10, right? And uh, whenever we get an off lectures, I will come to the class, right? I will engage the online class, or otherwise by taking the extra lectures, I will finish this R programming complete. Finishing the syllabus is not important nowadays because your examination is online. Try to understand. Don't study only for the examination point of view or for the theoretical concept, right? To study the R programming for your placement purpose, because the R and any tool like Excel, Tabula or Power BI, it will give 100% placement in industry with a good package in IT industry. So I'm not saying that the 100 whatever I'm teaching will be sufficient, right? Because we have to study extra, we have to take the efforts. At the end, I will tell you where to highlight and where to not highlight. But this is just I'm taking you to the closer to the R. But the next things you should try to learn on your own, because the lot of demand is there in industry. Lot of demand is there in industry. Very few people are there to teach the R, right? So I will finish the complete R. I'm not referring the syllabus, but I'm referring the R logical sequence, in which sequence the R to be taught, right? So that I will finish the R, and then we'll have some statistical advanced techniques, data sets, right? We'll practice some data sets, we apply some analytics on data set, and then we'll stop. So whenever I get a lecture time, because now I am relatively free because almost my assignments are over. So I will be relatively free. So I will come to the class, I will join the class, and I will not wait for the attendance, right? Even single student is present, I will conduct the lectures. Need not worry. Okay. So today we'll stop here. But from tomorrow again, the very important part, very important component we are discussing, that is the data structures of an R program. Hardly 3 to 4 lecture it will take to finish the R, basics of R, not I'm saying that advanced R, and then few lectures I will engage on advanced R with the help of analytics, business analytics, or with the help of the actual data sets which are available in R only. Right? Okay, so today we'll stop here. Tomorrow we'll continue. Am I right? Shall I leave the meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any doubt?